Greetings, coin collectors out there, and welcome back to the Big D Coins channel. On this channel, I share with you some of my coins and give you a little bit of info about the coins, the history, and what was going on when these coins were made. Also, sometimes touch upon the value of the coin, usually only if they're more than face value. So, this video is going to be about the 1900 one penny and the 1967 one penny. And I know what you might be thinking. These pennies look really big. They don't look like the pennies I usually use, and that's because these ones are from across the pond. These ones are from the United Kingdom. They are, in fact, very big coins. So the one on the left is 1900. I've also got one from 1912, 20, 21, 28, 40, 46, up until 67. So let's get into it and look at each of these coins. So this first one right here, the design doesn't really change much, so I'll explain the design in this first video, and then I won't have to repeat it throughout the video. But the reverse of the coin, which you're looking at right now, is the seated Britannian facing the right with a trident in their left hand and a shield bearing the Union flag in their right. The C is behind them and the denomination above and the date below. See the denomination on the left and the right there, and then the date at the bottom. Now, what makes it a little bit more interesting is the obverse of the coin, because this does change throughout the different years. This one right here might be a shocker to some people, but it's not Queen Elizabeth II. You're probably used to seeing her on most coins from the United Kingdom, most coins from Canada and India and other countries throughout the world that used to be part of the UK. But this one right here is Queen Victoria with a crown and veil facing the left. Queen Victoria was the Queen of England, and she was she was alive from 1819 to 1901. Her reign as queen was from 1837 to 1901 when she died. So as far as the mintage goes for this coin, there were 31.7 million of these made. This design was made from 1895 to 1901. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any silver sterlings in this video because those coins were stopped being made around 1796 or so. So we're just going to stick with pennies and no sterlings for today. So the next one I have up is this one right here. It is dated 1912, as you can see at the bottom. And want to take any guesses to who is on this coin? There it is. It is George V. This coin was made from 1911 to 1926. And the year that we're looking at, sorry, I've already forgotten, is 1912. So in 1912, let's check out the mintages on that. In 1912, there were 48.3 million made. Still shockingly large amount of the mintages for these coins, especially considering this is over 100 years old. So this coin was made from 1911 to 1926. It features on the obverse a bare head of the portrait of King George V facing the left. So some of the other George V coins that I've got is this 1920. I'll add you right on top of the pile. And this 1921. I will add you right on the top of the pile as well. So let's move right on. The next coin I have is 1928. Now this coin actually has a little bit of a different metal content to it. I'm going to leave the 1920s right there and then share with you this one right here, which is the 1928. This design was made from 28 until 36. Now, I'm not quite sure the differences in these metal. I would imagine the The bronze might be different. Actually, the diameter is different. The diameter in the older one is 31 millimeters. Newer one is only 30.8, so they shaved off 0.2 millimeters. The weight also decreases slightly as well. So that's the 1928. So they used this design up until 36. And then the next one, now you're used to seeing George V right here. The next one I have was made in 1940, and it is George VI. The previous one is George V. Sorry if I got those confused earlier. But let's take a look at George VI and compare him to the old George VI. George V and George VI. Gets kind of hard to say. As you can see, different kind of metal contents here. In the George VI one right here, it's a much younger portrait. The reverse is still the same. It says 1 penny with the seated Britannia. This coin I have was made in 1940, but this particular series was made from 36 to 48. So if you go to 1940, there were 42.2 million of these made. Now I said this was made all the way up until 48. So to add a cherry on top to this 1940, I've got this 1946 right here. Take a peek at that. Looks like much of the other ones. This one's in pretty good condition. There he is, George VI. Alright, so this is when it all changes. And here comes the Queen. Queen Elizabeth II. There she is. Well, you can't really see her on this design, but this is the reverse, and look at how great of shape this reverse is in. I've made a video just about this one on other ones, but you can see the ocean in great detail. She's seated right there. That's a seated Britannia. You can see the Union flag and the lighthouse in the background. It's looking great. So here is Queen Elizabeth II. This is the first portrait that was used for her. She's facing the right and has her hair kind of up in a little bun in the back. So let's take another look at this reverse right here, because it's really just in such great shape. So in 1967, there were 654 million of these made. So if you want to get one of these, chances are you probably can for under $5, I imagine, on eBay. 654 million of these made. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Let's recap the years that we looked at: 67, 46, 40, 28. What else we got in here? 21. I skipped over a year. 20, 19, 12, and the first one we showed you, this 1900 right here. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you're into coin collecting, please do like, comment, subscribe, and check out some of my other videos that they go up daily. So I hope you enjoy them. Take care, everyone.